about this, a subgroup, and, I guess I need more information on what that subgroup's responsibility is and what authority they have. Because if you talk about fiscal responsibility, we need to know what they can and cannot do outside of the executive order. So we go back down to the fiscal portion.
I say, how about we do this? Because it's gonna get real convoluted. Let's take it one at a time, because I think you're not acknowledging that change. We can take a vote on that, not acknowledge that change, and then go to your next point, which is the fiscal.
I'm not saying I don't agree with this, man. I'm just asking for clarification.
Right, but I'm saying like, because I think people are already ready to rock and roll on that first one. So I say let's rock and roll on that first one, and then let's take the next thing, so that way we can kind of chunk it and have that discussion, whole group. So as I was walking around the room, I pretty much heard a consensus already on that. So that way we can keep those things separate. And anything else that we want to bring up, we can keep those things separate. But it's a proposed change, so it sounds like for that particular thing, for the proposed change, with the vote that of course is going to call with the amendment by Dr. Hughes Hunter, is going to be that we leave it the same. Is what it sounds like that motion is going to be. And if it's okay with you for a friendly amendment, just let's do that one and take it as a chunk, and then we can scroll down to the fiscal piece.
So the member at large proposed change to the amendment to 1-year term.
And the presidency.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
No, it was.
In our bylaws, it's already 1 year. It didn't say 2 years. The
I
executive order.
understand that, so I want it to remain the same as what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is no proposed change.
No proposal.
Yes.
We're gonna leave it as is.
Well, there's a proposed change, but what she's saying is her motion is that it stays the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I was gonna say, can the motion be to delete that particular, change to the bylaws? So just delete.
It would just be no change.
There's no change.
It would just be no change. Yeah, it would just be no change. And there was a second. Who seconded?
There was a second.
Kenny was the second.
McKinney, you were the second?
Yes.
Okay, so, but okay, so we have to do it again because initially the motion was, to approve this, to change this, and then approve the document as a whole. So,
You still have.
agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. So what we need to do is, either approve, but okay, hold on. What happened was, she modified her motion. Is what she did. So when she modified her motion, it changed it because she said she's taking a friendly amendment. So she changed her motion. So if it was accepted as for the presenter, for the person who asked for the motion, if she modifies her motion, that does not require a vote. Okay? So, and then the second still stands because she took a friendly amendment, right? She took a friendly change to it. So it does not change. So what we have to do is, going back to this original person here, we have to make sure that what she said is clear, and then we can take a vote on whatever she said, and then we can move the document. Yes, sir. Jason. I think that's Jason. I don't remember.
Members at large section, I understand there's a strikeout one change to 2, and she's opposed to that, so I agree with that. There's also a lot of additional new language, I don't necessarily know if she's opposed to the additional clarifying language. So I think it's just the strikeout from change 1 to 2 is the area of concern. Additionally, a line above that, it adds R1, and putting members in R1 word, I think it should be R12.
And thank you, whoever laptop that is and got this up here, and thank you, appreciate you for having it up there. That's a big, y'all better clap for me now. Yeah. You're fine, thank you, appreciate you. So,
It's on page 5, Rick.
Yeah, he's done.
here we go. How about let's read it for its entirety, maybe? Dr. McDonald?
Let's see, board members at large board member is, I cannot see it.
As needed.
as needed may be appointed by the region president and shall serve a renewable term of 2 years. At-large members may serve as needed as delegates or alternate voting delegates to the State Leadership Assembly. The number of board members at large may be amended if the number of delegate votes the region is allowed increases. The election shall be held in February. Ballots will be provided electronically by February 1 to all AXA Region 12 members. Ballots must be completed by March 1st and tallied by an appointee of the board. The nominating committee shall certify the tally prior to the spring region leadership assembly. The president-elect, as chair of the nominating committee, shall announce the election results at the spring leadership assembly.
Can I just say something really quick about the delegate piece, because that sounded confusing in hearing that. And we might want to tease that or modify that language. The delegate, as far as the delegate language, which is different than a member at large. The delegate language is for state access, so when you go to take and cast your votes, then your representatives in that paper that Michelle handed out, it tells you, delineates who are our delegates. I think it's president, president-elect, I don't know, whoever, that litany of people. What makes it confusing is it sounds as if these members at large become your delegates. That's not true. What that line is really trying to get after, and it's just awkwardly worded, what that line is really trying to get after is, should our membership rise, and then we now get members to this body, so therefore we get another delegate, then that person, the president's going to be able to assign that person as it is today, right? Because you have this extra person to go vote for the region. That's what that's saying, but it's confusing the way it's worded. And I would definitely think, I mean, well, you're the chair, I can say what I mean. I think that because that's confusing, I would strike that language as well, because it's confusing. So I would strike it too, and then just tease that out by itself, because that's really under membership, what it's talking about as far as that delegate is concerned. That's based on our membership.
That's the second motion.
Yeah, well, I'm a yield. I'm just giving you information that I can give because I'm not chairing this thing. She is. But that I definitely, and Dr. Youth Hunter is the one who has the floor currently, and we either going to vote up or vote down depending on what she says here. But that's confusing, and you can't. They're two completely different things. Member at large on this body and a delegate to the state are two different things.
I think we have to have it in there legally for them to be a delegate for state
Right.
rep, but we can't, that's always been in there. We have to have it in there if we want to make them a delegate or an alternate delegate.
Make a member at large delegate?
Yes, and that's why we had member at larges, because we originally had 5 board members, so we had 5 delegate votes. But as a region, we now have 7. So that's why we started adding members at large to be delegates. And then we needed extras, because when one member can't go, then there are alternate delegates.
So we just need to possibly, it sounds like to me based on what you're
I
saying,
think it's
Michelle.
just that most
And I look
people
at Brooke
understand.
Carter, she's saying that, our members at large, have historically served in the role as delegate, so that's fine. The wording just needs to be written differently, in my opinion, to reflect that as a whole. Let's go, Dr. Ingram.
So there's also another members of our sections further down that I was referring to, so we have to address both of them, because that also needs to change from 1 to 2 years.
What page?
Some new language. I don't have a page in front of me. I think we can address that.
You start searching, huh?
Right under the
You
agreement.
go, ALY, you hear the Ben Ear Award, you out of here.
So there's the R1. edits that needs to be changed.
Okay.
Change the language here.
No, I can't see that.
Second line. Second sentence.
So there's the R1 right there, so we'll just add it to.
2 definite changes and 1 suggestion for an omission, although there was also some pushback that we need to keep that in there to be able to have the adequate number of delegates per state.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go back to Alana and Richard. What is that motion that you were making?
I think, I'm listening, and I think a lot of the issues are with the terms. So the terms have been changed in the proposed changes, and I think the terms need to go back, because I've gotten feedback from others that are in the other roles that have been changed to a higher amount of time. So for example, Larry's role that he's sitting in has been moved to 3, much,
Yeah.
we're gonna be here a long time.
Yeah, it's convoluted, yeah.
So is a motion to change any elected terms that have changed, to revert back to the original term?
So they haven't changed, so we're rejecting.
Rejecting.
We're rejecting.
So the motion is to reject the term changes.
Term changes that are in the bylaws, but then also, there's a committee that I'm asking for discussion on. But I guess the other question is, does anybody else have any kind of concerns with the proposed changes in the bylaws before I change my motion?
What was your motion?
To reject the change.
I got lost.
I'm rejecting the changes to any terms, and then my vote would then be to approve the changes in the bylaws, but with us knowing that we're not changing those terms. My other question was with that committee to understand what that committee is doing, and so I'm asking, are there any other concerns with the bylaws? So when I change my motion, I'm gonna amend my motion to say, with the exception to these changes, we approve the bylaws.
Any other concerns with the bylaws?
Just, it's not a concern, but if you really want to wind up with state PPLA, it stays only 1 year.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And we've done two, but the proposal was 3, you know, and so I 2 worked, I've held that position, and, you know, but if we really want to allow a mistake, it should be 1.
And I'm
Something to consider, and the other thing is if we are changing terms, we want to put in something like effective the next election cycle, so it's not like, I signed up for 2, and now I gotta work 6, you know, so. I'm not opposed to changes, but that caveat that chances that the next cycle, so whoever signed up for it, knows what they're signing up for, instead of, oh, surprise, you
Yeah.
got 4 more years.
Yeah.
We can always
And
resign.
can I add to that? Because there's a proposed change to make the VPLA 3 years. I didn't sign up for a 3-year term, so to your point, thank you. And maybe we wanna talk to the people that are sitting in those roles before we propose those kind of changes. Just saying.
Well, wouldn't you, if you're already sitting in a role and you have a bylaw change, it shouldn't affect the term?
Yeah, the next person.
But that should be specified. That's not specified.
It would be the next person, because you were not elected into that term.
Yeah.
I believe the proposal then is, we're gonna align our bylaws to the state when it comes to the terms. Is that accurate? That's what we wanna do. We wanna be.
But is that the same as for the VPLA, because you said the region 1 has typically been 2, so we're proposing to go to 1?
Isn't it state a 2-year term in PLA?
States 2.
States 2.
States 2.
States 2.
It's 2.
The state VPLA is 2.
2, yes.
So my proposal was to not accept the changes to the term and to align ourselves to make changes that are consistent with the state. So if we are not accepting the 2-year term, we go back to the 1-year term and we don't accept the 3-year term that's being proposed. Because in our bylaws, it was 1 year before, right? And we're proposing to move it to 3.
No, it's
No,
2
it's
years.
2.
Apparently, I've seen on that.
Listen, Dan, I can't use the word for this stuff.
No.
Okay, wait, okay, I got it. How about this? I got it. It's gonna work. I promise it's gonna work. We can do this and hopefully, it's only 9:30. God, it felt like doing it. We can do it like this. If you don't mind, if the body doesn't mind, and because I'm not the chair, so I can say this, so I'm gonna say it. Let's take this, can we take it piece by piece as far as just looking at it and having our conversation? I don't require you to withdraw your motion. We can take it piece by piece and just look at it, and we can have conversation. And then after we have our collective conversation, like we're doing now, right? After we're having our collective conversation, we can take it piece by piece, and then we can start, then somebody can propose, hey, I wanna do this. So now we're just looking at it. We're just looking at it, we're having table talk, we're just having conversations about blah, 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 blah. And then we can go back to this, and then we can formally introduce this, so that way we can start to say, okay, we wanna move this and second this, and then we can do it that way. Because I know this whole half of the room over here is like shaking their head lost. It doesn't mean that they're lost because they can't keep up. It's just there's so many changing, shifting things that we're talking about at the same time that it becomes overwhelming. And just like with our students, I don't want to do the homework assignment anymore. Right? So I would think if we could just have some conversation really quickly in our table groups, if there's somebody, for example, there's an equity piece up there. We know that our person who was our equity lead was right here, Tiffany Hampton. So maybe there's an equity thing, you're like, hey, what does this look like? Does this feel like you need more information? While we got everybody in the room, we can run around and have that conversation. Yep. Yeah, we need that, but we still need that language. What is that?
But these are the election terms here, so what the amendment is to reject the VPLA of 3, reject the council for 3.
And the equity representative in there, we put them in, so we need to change, but that job needs to be 2 years too, I think.
So,
Clarissa, what would you like?
okay, so let's do it this way, because I think it's pretty simple. Alana, what you are proposing is that all of the changes to the terms be rejected and reverted back to its original terms.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Additionally, VPLA, we gotta make a decision, right, if it reverts back, it's 2 years, state is 1 year.
No, state is 2.
Okay,
Yes. So let's do a motion on that. But hold on, if Alana has the motion originally, does she have to amend or change your motion?
How about this? I am gonna withdraw.
You're gonna withdraw your motion, okay. McKinney?
I'm gonna go through against the bill.
What is your motion, Mr. McKinney?
I move that we reject the term changes and revert back to the original bylaws for that.
Okay.
We have to make an exception before you move forward. Equity representative was never on our board. It finally became an alignment, so we have to make a decision about that one. Because that's why it's all red.
I withdraw my motion and make that decision.
Or just state the ones that you're actually, yeah.
Okay.
Michelle, what's the equity
So
state
I move
one?
that we reject the changes to the terms for the ones that change and add equity representative for a 2-year term going forward.
Second.
Okay. All right, any further discussion?
What's the motion?
To reject the changes for VPLA, for the committees and councils, but to change the equity rep that was not in there before from a 3-year to a 2-year term. Is that correct, Dr. McKinney?
Yes, to add it and have it a 2-year term. Yeah.
So what about all the other changes that are?
Yeah, you need to modify your motion.
That'll be a different motion.
Oh,
We gotta do a motion for every change.
Okay.
no you don't.
So any further discussion on this? We got a first, we got a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Whew, okay. We got through that. All right, is there another motion regarding the bylaw changes?
Who was the
Well, I
second?
think it'd be chunky, like Dr. Better says, we need to get to the next section.
So which section would you like me to go to?
What came after the terms? Or before the terms, any changes before the terms?
Excuse
There
me,
was one,
So,
sir.
honorary life membership,
Who seconded Dr. McKinney's motion?
Dr. George Matamala.
board may award honorary life membership to persons making an outstanding contribution to education.
Does that mean we got the region pays their access?
Dr. Betters?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the thought process in the honorary life membership?
Say it again.
What was the rationale behind the honorary life membership? The board may award honorary life membership to persons making outstanding contribution to education.
You know you gotta, okay, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all gotta ask Tiffany. I do not know what they was writing. Ask Juanita. Honorary life membership to a person making, honorary life membership, the board may award honorary life membership to a person making a, oh, I know what that is. I know what it is now. I didn't write it, but I know what it is. So So the logic behind that was, okay, so let's just say, I don't know how many of you remember, Dr.
He's right here.
Bill's a good example. Let's go with Bill, since he's alive. So an honorary life member, meaning like you made some huge contribution to the organization, and it's really just like a thank you. It's really a name only, but it gives you a status because you're always going to be like a prestigious member of our region. That was the logic behind it. So Dr. Margaret Hill was the person I was thinking of previously. Like we have the Dr. Margaret Hill Award. So people who made significant contributions have this honorary status. That was the logic behind it. You switch seats, God, yeah!
You know, we want the people to know some things. I got to do some history behind it. So my understanding of honorary membership is given out by the state because we don't have the capacity or authority to do it here. And the reason why somebody has to pay those dues, you send them to the state for them to register you. So if I'm listening to your thought process.
Yeah, take it out, because I promise you, I didn't write it.
We give it another name than membership. We can do an honorary something, but it can't be an honorary life membership because only the state has the capacity to do that. I see Kimberly's hand going up.
Can we say an honorary qualification for membership? So, maybe someone is there for a very long time, and then they leave education to go in another field, and we say you qualify for membership, but we're not paying your dues. Is it something like that?
Could we possibly say recommendation, honorary recommendation to the state to make a determination?
I say we take it
What
out.
about removing it?
But then you're gonna get into, a lot of people, retired people have emeritus membership, so how is that different? Because by the time they get to be, they paid so many years of dues, I think it's 7 years of dues. Like, once you retire, then you get an emeritus membership, so how is that any different? And if we do something like that, we're just gonna pick up the tab, like.
That's not what I said.
Make a motion to strike 2.304.
Terry second.
Yeah, so we have a motion to strike 2.04, we have a seconded by Hampton.
And you will get a plaque from us.
Hold on, you have a hand up over there.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Abstention, motion carried, okay.
What's that right there?
Okay, State Action Board, Director, Equity Representative, Communication Chair.
What list is it being added to? Go back up a little bit.
Officers.
Oh, officers.
Officers, but there's the delineation of what they do further down.
So is an officer meaning that you have voting rights on that executive board?
I mean, I always have.
Well, and then we can stipulate later that the communication chair does not have a voting right because it's a paid position.
But I did have a voting right.
So the Equity Rep currently has voting right in this position, but the
Equity,
Communication Chair does not.
No, because now it's switched and I work for AXA. Even though I'm on our board, I
She's
work for
staff.
AXA. I work for staff, I'm staff.
Okay.
So long as it's delineated on your description of their role, we can keep going. I motion that we accept those two additions to the list of officers.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second has this.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. So,
No
did that
discussion.
Rep?
No discussion.
It's further down.
Education Chair?
Well, there's a description added to your equity person. There's language added to the equity person's position. Yes, that should be further. It's up, it's above, what she has, right there. Go further up.
It's below.
Okay, go ahead.
I did see it, but.
Yeah, treasurer, communication, equity rep.
You know, man, that's been for years.
It's after president.
Language in there.
It's after president-elect, vice president membership.
Yeah, right there.
The equity rep shall serve as region representative on corresponding state committees and attend all state committee meetings. The region equity committee, led by the equity representative,
Be corrected.
shall meet regularly with a minimum of 3 meetings per year unless otherwise approved by the board. They shall maintain communication between their state and regional committee and executive board. Duties shall include attending the Council of Equity Leaders meeting quarterly, report on all acts of Region 12 events and professional learning opportunities, report on all acts of Region 12 equity initiatives, attend the Equity Institute, submit proposals for the Equity Institute to further the topic and work and provide input at the state level. And these are the regional duties.
You guys already approved, you already approved this?
No.
Go ahead.
I think aside from adding a brief descriptor, if you're not gonna do that for the other officers, I don't think it's fair to do it for the equity officer. I think it's implied that we have to do these things. So for regional and state, you have to report out, you have to attend the meetings. So unless you're gonna do that for every other position that we have there,
We got here back here. Can y'all stand up, Dr. Uzana?
I said,
Oh.
and unless you're gonna do it for all the other positions and say what you want them to do at a state and regional level, it's not fair to pick on your equity representative. If you're not gonna pull out those responsibilities for everyone else, then we accept the description of what that person is, that overview, and you take the rest of the bullet points out. It's not fair. If you're not gonna go back and do everybody else, don't do the equity person.
So what is the motion on the floor?
The motion on the floor is to accept the description that's at the top and not, and reject your state level and regional level language or bullet points.
Do I have a second?
Who seconded it?
Okay, is there any
Say
further
your name.
discussion?
I know,
So the
yes,
motion
please.
is to keep the description and remove the state and regional level bullet points.
I agree because it's almost like the job description, not the bylaws. And everyone should have a job description that's,
Separate. Where's that located?
that's something that needs to be created, like it's a job description that each of them would have.
Right.
As opposed to being in the bylaws. Since the jobs might change, that's an easier thing to work through.
Dr. Metters?
I agree with both of these young ladies. The only thing I want to add is that, going back to what Dr. McKinney was saying about the job description, we need, this is a separate conversation for the bylaw, I just want to throw it in here in this conversation. We do need that delineated information for all roles, and especially the reason why it was thrown in there for the equity piece, or why I agree with it not being in there, is because it was new, and there were questions about, and somebody who had this role for our region, what is the role, like what they do, right? So, but the real easy solve for this is we really need to have like a binder, that delineates all those type of job description type details, just like the one we created for Michelle's role, because it didn't exist before. So we had to create one for Michelle's role, previously Bill's role. So, which we have in the fall, we now have the drive that everybody will have access to, who's in these future roles. So I agree, let's take it out, but then the exec board, we just start to move to make sure that we have all those things, detailed. So when somebody steps into that role, they're like, I'm not for sure why.
All right, so we have a motion, we have it seconded.
Who seconded it?
I know, who was the
McKinney
motion?
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, let's move on. We've got to really press on forward.
Go back up.
Sorry to bug you, but who would make the actual motion? I haven't.
Delana.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, sorry,
Any changes
I'm
there
trying to
for
write.
President Elect?
So you're down, way down.
Okay.
Hold on. That's where you want to be?
The next change, whatever that is.
It's, go down, you just passed the members, the second members at large.
Still down?
Oh,
That
Well, I'm just wondering, for the sake of time, do we table and bring this back at our next executive board meeting?
No, it's not executive board, it has to
Not
be
happening
here.
here?
What's the question? What's the question?
There's not a question, I think there's alignment of mistakes, so Michelle just needs to make a motion, somebody needs to vote.
Make a motion about the AI bot.
So I know somebody was asking what an AI bot is, and for those who might not be familiar, you have the capability for some of these apps or that you log into, where you're physically not there, but however you set it up, it will send like a note paper, and it has a little name on it. What that is saying is, you can't do that for our meeting. Not this meeting. You cannot send your digital electronic representative to the meeting. Okay? So that's what the AI bot line is, and the reason why Michelle, or I don't know, did they ever say it was Michelle? The reason why that was important to us is because we had that happen a few times, and we had to have Michelle move that thing out the meeting. And then there were questions about, well, I'm sending that because they can take, no, we're not doing that. But because we don't have a true hard fast rule about it, technically, they were right. So we were like, we gotta change that. So that's not true. So that was why it says that AI bot,
And as long as you agree with it, there is no motion, we're moving on.
Okay.
We had everybody come back in half an hour.
Less than that.
Everyone's gonna be up here.
Minor changes.
They're coming back now, aren't they?
Is,
Oh, no, like 15 minutes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
all right, charter bylaws, here's the next change that is under governance.
the business guys gonna be able to make a local position. Come on, Rick.
Okay, so the addition, new updated charter bylaws must be approved by Region 12 Leadership Assembly and may be amended by the Leadership Assembly with a 2/3 vote of the members present. Bylaws must be reviewed every 2 years for revisions as submitted. Typo to the president-elect and director of regional operations. The board must submit the proposal in writing to members of the Region Leadership Assembly 30 days prior to the Leadership Assembly where action is to be taken. Any changes become effective following the votes.
I move with the correction of the typo.
Okay, so I have a second? George, you're seconding? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries there. Okay, 9.03, change the additions. Each charter is expected to submit to the leadership of their region programmatic plan and budget by October 1st, as well as a report of progress on objectives of that plan each year by August 31st. It's in the state acts of bylaws. And let's just go ahead and read 9.04 so we can kind of include both of them. A charter's president, in cooperation with their board, shall seek nominations from within their charter to the charter board each year. Only regular members of AXA in good standing are eligible to be elected to the following charter leadership positions: president, president-elect, delegate, vice president, legislative action, and vice president membership. The election shall be held each year with ballots being sent out in March, so that the director of regional operations and the Region 12 president-elect are notified of the outcome by April 1st.
We have a question in the back.
Yes.
So our charter, our terms are 2 years, so why are we gonna have elections every year? So we could say every year or in alignment with your bylaws,
Yeah.
in alignment with your adopted bylaws.
The other thing that, as I'm reading it, needs to be in there, that state access has been pushing us, because you've been getting emails from me. If you have a voting member on your charter board, because your charters, even though you're single district, are still AXA charters. So if your treasurer's a voting member, they have to be an AXA member. They didn't used to say that, they do now. So and that means any voting member of a charter board needs to be an AXA member in good standing.
Okay, so is someone gonna make a motion?
There's no change.
I am trying to get on. I'm asking that we approve that and with the changes that, if any, Michelle, are there changes that are okay?
No, if your charter bylaws say that you vote, if your positions are 2 years, so
Second.
Second. Reese, do you have a question?
No. I don't have to ask you who seconded it
Okay,
now.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, any abstentions? All
Correct.
right. That moves
Correct.
forward. 9.05.
No, I don't have to ask you who seconded it.
Minor changes, each charter may develop its own financial program and provide safe banking procedures for its funds in accordance with state AXA guidelines. The region must be provided with financial statement prior to September 30th, each year to the region director of regional operations and the treasurer, as well as financial statements to the state AXA if the charter is using AXA's EIN number for their bank account by August 31st each year. I move. Second?
Who was that? Was that Alana?
What was
That's
changed?
Alana.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Yvette.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So the rest are just numbering changes. 9.09, project designs. The changes, the additions, Director of Regional Operations for approval by the Board and Leadership Assembly. Charter submitting their fall activity project design by June 30 shall be eligible to receive the allotted $300 plus a bonus of $150. Requests for fall activity designs submitted after June 30th and before June 30 will be eligible for the allotment of $300. Spring activity design projects must be submitted by November 30th to be eligible for the $300 allotment. And then let's just combine the next one. AXA Region 12 will allocate no more than 5% of its total budget to scholarships towards AXA professional development. Region members will be allowed to receive no more than 2 scholarships per year to provide all members the opportunity to apply for funding. Funds will be reimbursed after the member pays for their registration. Members must provide required invoices in order to be reimbursed. Discussion. Yes.
On the first paragraph that you have, what happens when they don't do the activity design that they ask the region for the money for?
I think the money needs to be returned, or you need to tell them when you're postponing your activity design. Because the whole reason why the region's giving it to you is for us to promote membership. It's not for you to take it and put it in the bank and never do the activity. So if you're not gonna do it, then you tell us when you're gonna postpone it to, or you forfeit those funds and you return them back to the region. That's just my recommendation. I don't think you should just bury it in the application.
So add some kind of a line in there.
It's not in there.
No, I'm saying to add.
But to add some kind of a line that says activities that are not fulfilled, funds must be returned to regional.
We can't hear nothing on this side. I'm sorry.
What I said was that there's oftentimes when we give money to the charters and they don't hold the activity that they told us they're gonna hold. So I'm recommending that there's some language added, that if you do not hold that activity that you asked for the money for, that money is forfeited and returned back to the region. Or you suggest you provide us with another date as to when you're gonna hold that activity. You just don't need to keep the funds.
I would like to recommend that, we say that would be done, that activity would be done by the end of the year. So when we attend this, regional leadership, that, if they haven't held their event by the regional leadership date, then they would have to return it, so. They're asking for that $300 within the scope of the school year. And if they've made cancellations or adjustments to the date, then it has to happen within that year. So at the end of the year, if it hasn't happened, they need to return the funds.
How much work would it be to, you know, because somebody would have to do this, where you have the event, and then when you have it, you get reimbursed. Your TV gets reimbursed when you have the event. So you
Can
don't
I-
have to worry about any of that.
Can I ask a question? Does Jen send you your check as soon as you're approved, or does she send you, does Jen send you your check as soon as you're approved?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they use that fund to help finance the activity design.
Thank you, your dad. I love that. That's what we need. Reimbursed.
It was just clarifying the process because we did 2 activities last year and we didn't get the check and then we submitted receipts and get it back. So I can work it out for 10, but I wanted to be sure what the process was to do it. If based on receipts, there's no need to make a change. So if you get the money up front, then I would recommend the change.
I just think we need to add on there, you forfeit your funds if you do not hold an activity design, and the money will be returned back to the region. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, is there a motion on the floor? So
That's my motion.
because we still have to, vote for CALA and AWSA bylaws here. So, Alana, the motion was to add a line.
My motion is to approve it, to add a line that says that if you do not use those activity design funds, you will return those funds back to the region, and those funds will be forfeited.
Do we have a second? Because we're, doing it on. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
What's the name of the person that seconded?
What's your?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, motion carries.
I motion also to approve the professional development scholarship.
It's
Right,
recorded, though,
discussion about this one.
Any discussion on 9.09? So Alana makes a motion to approve.
I second that Rolando.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at these, minor additions. Is there any opposition? Okay. Moving on, bank accounts.
There's my question there. That committee that's being composed, where you have the past president, the treasurer,
The financial committee, past president, treasurer, bookkeeper, member at large, prepare an annual budget with approval at the last board meeting prior to the spring region leadership assembly. The region leadership assembly must approve the budget. A published budget will be made available to the region membership.
So my question is, their sole responsibility is preparing. So their sole responsibility is preparing that annual budget? That's it? What the financial committee? Serena? Yes, I missed it. What is the sole responsibility of that committee that's being composed, that financial committee, the past president, treasurer, bookkeeper, and member at large, is their responsibility to, do our annual proposed budget?
So to work in tandem, yes. And so what's happening is, with the new structure of the way that AXA has rolled out the treasurer, that treasurer role, which used to be a paid position, is no longer such a paid position. And what has happened is the past president, according to our bylaws from before the beginning of time, and state AXA, is the past president is over budgets, right? So they're supposed, not just AXA Region 12, as far as the region is concerned, but supporting the charters, the individual charters with their budgeting, with their concerns, with their needs, no different than how the president-elect is the governance piece. So there's no way one person can have that level of skill and be able to be responsive to all those needs. So putting those folks who are specifically handling the money, the treasurer and this bookkeeper person who, Jeanette's here now, but Jeanette's not going to be here always. So we have to be able to have a system in place where we can do the work of the region and do the work in supporting our charters. That has been absent all this time. That has not been a true thing. And so we kind of, I don't know how we did it before, but whatever we were doing before wasn't the most successful or most efficient way for us to execute this. So that's why that language is there. Did I answer the question? I hope I did.
It's limited to preparing, that's all the language says.
They're limited to the budget.
Yes, correct.
That's all it says.
Do I have a motion?
Did I answer the question?
Tyrese,
The question was,
I
right,
motion to
Oh,
accept
well,
that as the 10.03.
Thought they asked me to explain.
background.
I can't hear.
Discussion. All in favor?
I missed the
Thank you.
second.
Opposed? All right, any abstentions?
McNally, I missed the second. Who second?
Alana.
Thank you, Dr. Hughes Hunter.
10.07, bank accounts. The region in charge shall establish and maintain bank accounts in reputable financial institute in compliance with AXA's policies and procedures, and shall ensure that all funds are appropriately accounted for under internal control, specifically.
And all of this that got added was due to state AXA's financial changes. So we put in all this that got added had to do with state actual access financial changes, and so they went in and pulled language that I know from the AXA bylaws and budget guidelines in order to add it into here.
So really we have,
To make us compliant with state
so
access.
this makes us compliant with state action.
I motion to approve.
Second. I get it somehow. All in favor? Any further discussion?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
no,
you.
no nays and no abstentions? Okay, so all of this. We're at the end. Okay, did everyone have an opportunity to read the county
Yes.
bylaws and the AWSA bylaws? Okay, so for the county bylaws, was there any discussion regarding changes? Can I get a motion to accept? I move. Who is that? Okay, Limerick seconds, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, the AWSA bylaws. Can I get a motion to accept? I move.
Who is that? Can they say the names, please?
Alana first, Chris, what's the last name? Second, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank the Lord Jesus. Okay, so let's go on to the reports, and we gotta be done
10:45.
10:45. We gotta be reaching 19.
Yes.
So, President-elect Ms. Hampton. And where's the microphone? Just on me. Thank you so very much. And I would do a motion to turn down the air conditioning.
It has been a pleasure to be your equity representative for the past 2 years. Really enjoyed that role, so thanks for everyone who was part of that committee and the council. And I'm very happy to be moving on to this next role. As it pertains to President-elect, this conversation that we just had as it pertains to bylaws, these are the kind of conversations that we'll be having as presidents and presidents-elects in our meetings monthly. So please join those meetings so that we can have these conversations. And then when we come here, it's kind of just that let's vote on it as opposed to let's do the work and vote on it, because we've been doing that work all year long. So really looking forward to seeing everyone, especially at the leadership meetings, the assembly meetings with McNally, so that we can also do this work there. So then when we come here, it's not so much all of this, but really just voting on it so we can move forward as a region. So I've been very happy to be in this position and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
You pass the mic to Dr. Alana Hughes Hunter for the State Board reports.
You guys have heard enough from me today. We will be more with me in the fall when we have our fall leadership assembly meetings, and safe travels.
All right, Dr. Feathers, past president. Okay. There's a mic anyway, huh? Get this microphone. Okay, so I will be brief. But there's two things that we've been discussing all year long, and we want to do something this year that we haven't done before as a region, although other regions do it. And here's what it is. The past president is over the AOY, but also part of the AOY is the student component piece where they receive their scholarships and things like that. Other regions tease those two events out, so you have one that's just for the administrators, and then the other piece is for the student recognitions. So this year we want to try it, see if it works out, and have an event that we're able to honor, maybe a little bit more loose, I don't know, for just our administrators, and then have a separate night that allows us to acknowledge and honor our young people. That's how we do it. And Michelle got and hold on.
We're challenging every charter to submit an ESS this year.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. You shouldn't have said that. Listen to me. Here is what we are going to do. And where's Frank Tucci? Tooch. And we have other people who help marry some of the kids in there too, but Tooch got not one, but two Frank Tucci. Stand up, Frank Tucci. Let me see the name. Stand up, Frank Tucci. Y'all give a mean, Frank Tucci was able to get not one, but 2 of our ESS awards. And why we have 2 ESS awards is because we have the I Am Gifted Foundation that was founded by a football player. His name is escaping me right now. Alex Madison. Thank you, Michelle. And so they give $1,000 every year because he was a recipient of the ESS award. So his way of giving it back is he offers a second scholarship for $1,000. That person does not go to state. But this year, both of our awardees came from UKIPA because UKIPA made sure that they got their folks submitted and had the app done correctly, had the students retell their story, and that's what the committee is looking for when they're evaluating these things. But unfortunately, every single year, we are begging our charters to identify students and submit them. That's a shame, as far as I'm concerned. It's a shame. And my hope is that, and our hope, let me be very clear about that because we've had conversations about this as a group. Our hope is that we shift that dynamic. We had an incredible student panel up here yesterday, and that we are so over-flooded with young people who we said they deserve a chance. Let me walk alongside them. Let me sponsor them in that next version. That happens again this year, as well as our AOY. I don't know how Fontana won half of the awards that felt like. God bless Fontana. Oh, I love y'all. It's all good. But hear me. I didn't even realize it until I was on the stage. And I'm like, hey, Fontana again? And I was part of the team, right? But let me tell you, it's because somebody faithfully and dutifully is putting those things out there and ensuring that we are acknowledging one another. And we have got to keep that thing going, y'all. And then this year, we will have some concerted efforts around that and some meetings about that to ensure that we are honoring people who are doing incredible work. Because we have people doing incredible work, and like most good administrators, they just do the work and keep going. We're going to acknowledge these people, y'all. We're going to high five and we're going to try to get them to the promised land because it's a big deal. Fair enough? Yes. And real quick, I know Don isn't here, so let me speak on his behalf. So this past year was, I would go on record as saying, as long as I've been a part of this organization, the most successful AOY we've ever had. Numbers-wise, the most attended, every single category had an awardee for it, and that house was rocking. It was incredible. And I feel that our region deserves that caliber of commitment and success and love and joy. But it's up to us to make sure that those people are in the room that this is happening. So that's going to be the charge for us as a region, and I'm happy to walk alongside you and get behind you to ensure that we're getting those apps there. But thank you again, Frank Tucci, especially because, and not only that, I think he may have paid for some Ubers for their babies to get here because he has a transient population at his school site. So in addition to him being the president, his personal babies from his school site are part of that. Yeah.
Hector's going to be recognized by the state. So
and Hector is going to be, which was our ESS student, he is going in November to True Vista, to the Gaylord. Y'all come and hang out. You heard me talk about that yesterday. To be recognized. So with that, that's our report.
Mr. Brunson for VPLA.
Larry.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your confidence in me as I finish my first year of the VPLA term. And thank you for everyone who came yesterday, all the charter VPLAs, to the session that Michelle and I hosted. We are really looking forward to working with you all next year for next year's Ledge Action Day. For those of you that are interested, it is March 29th and 30th. They did move it up a few weeks. It is the day after Easter though, but we will continue to press forward and press on, and thank you so much for your support.
All right, we're done. That's me. Miss Membership.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to just piggyback on that. Thank you guys for this is my first year as well. I have 2 more left. I'm excited about that. A huge shout out to the membership charter leads, just having a great session yesterday. It is hard work, and when you do the work, I had some swag for you. You get to do the swag stuff. Recruitment is active, and one of the greatest tactics is representing. So letting people know you represent AXA, and been asking what is that. So definitely get that stuff. There's a couple, oh no, there's not. It's all gone. So it's out there for you guys to take back to your charters and share out. There's some hyperlinks for you, information on there. I can't give you our exact membership numbers right now because
1306.
it's 1306. Last night it was 11:17 to be correct. So 1306. Are we sure? Because they paused it and everyone's renewals got in the show?
No, the number I checked with Margie, it was right before they paused it. We're
Oh,
at
okay.
1306.
I went away from the actual system with the renewals because we need 1333 in order to meet our 2% increase. So I think we can get there. I think we did get there. So I'm going to wait to share that out with you all. But right now we're 1306. The other link I have on there is for our Why AXA one pager. So if people are asking you why are you choosing AXA, please feel free to share that out. And then, if you're wondering who is in your charter, there's also a Google form that is organized by charter. You can click your tab and you can see all the people that are in your charter. And if you notice that some names are not there, you have the opportunity to tap and say, hey, you should join us. And if you don't know why, here's the one pager. And if you want to get to know more people, come to our social. So membership is a collective effort. While we are sitting in this seat, we need everyone to help out and just make sure that we are tapping those people who know you to be in this community because we are a community of purpose and on purpose and intentional. So if you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to come to your social events, happy to speak about anything and everything and anything you need. So my information should also be accessible, and I'm looking forward to another great year.
All right, Dr. Rose.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank all of those reps that are ending their term this June 30th. We really appreciate all of your support and bringing back information. And those of you who are starting July 1st, I met with many of you yesterday at the committees and councils. So know that there is a Google form that we are implementing this year. So when you go to your AXA state meetings representing councils and committees, please make sure that thereafter you submit the Google form with any attachments and updates so that we can continuously keep our region updated on all the news and trends and key issues and concerns. And then if our committees and councils, I did share with them yesterday that your role is to bring information up to the state from our region, key trends, issues, concerns, and then bring back that information after you attend the virtual or the in-person. And please make sure you download the calendar. It is available on our website and also on the AXA State website. The 26-27 calendar, the leadership manual is also available for our members, and so please make sure you see that. It's the 26-27 version, and I think that's everything I've got. And Felicia.
Equity rep, Ms. Winter.
Good morning, all. My report is nice and short and sweet because this is my first day on the job. But I am grateful that I get to stand on the shoulders of Tiffany Hampton, and we work in the same district, so I know she will be there as a great resource. I look forward to continuing the work of equity, and I'm done. So I'm gonna pass it on.
Okay, I continue to make contact with new members, usually via email and sometimes follow-up phone calls and visits. Also, we have a new marketing person at State AXA, Jennifer, and I forget her last name. So new members will be receiving, this is her idea or her initiative here, 3 emails when they first join. One is going to be from Rennie, and a couple weeks later followed up with one from Edgar, and then a couple weeks after that, one from the region president, which I think they're going to help you develop. So that will help people kind of feel more involved and be able to contact us.
Okay, let's go, Dr. McKinney, Women's Leadership Network.
Hello, everyone. Our first WLN activity will be on October 24th. It's a Saturday. It is our wellness gathering that we partner with Region 19 on. It is a come as you are, get what you need, take time for yourself experience that includes wellness activities,
you have a spouse, another. I need to know that, because otherwise I send you an email in the middle of the night saying, it says such and such. Is that you? And it would just be one of us communication we have to do, just so that clarifies. Because I'm not gonna put it in, I'm not gonna send something to somebody that's not, the one that actually, put it in. Our budget here, we've had healthy budgets. We try to spend down, and every year we get a lot of sponsors and are having trouble spending down, but we do need to spend down, not just purposely, let's not go out for a $500 dinner piece, no. We need to have more activities, we need to have more scholarships for you to go to academies, conferences, institutes. So we changed the budget and put a healthy amount in there. Right now, we're looking at other things like student groups that need some assistance. So once we get all that language in, we'll bring that back to you, if you are supporting that. We could up student scholarships, we could up ESS, but only one can go to state. So you have to have some criteria which one goes to state. But we want to support you because we know the lean years are coming, if they're not already here. And this is the time that you can lean on actually your region if you do have funds. A couple things that we changed. Let me get to my notes here. We did lower rebates because we're just in case we don't have membership. As they said yesterday, look around the room. You have to make sure we're cultivating the next group because my generation was not the largest in the room yesterday, and usually we were. So now we have a new generation that's larger, but as we go down, you see that we don't have those beginning administrators. We have to make sure it's important to them so that we can keep our healthy rebates coming from the state. The state gives us 15%. Not know, back to the regions to function. And then you, charters, when we ask you for activity design, we ask you for your treasurer's financial statements, you get money once Michelle says, yes, this charter has given it to us. And so then I can send you out money. You get rebates when you get certain things done. And then we send you out, we call it seed money or we call it, whatever. So that you are able to do your things, and then of course we have the activity designs that help as well. We are all going to try to do one single form this year, and thanks to Region 19's treasurer Derek, who's amazing. Several, I should say, probably half of you, if not more, are using his spreadsheet. This spreadsheet will be what we can hopefully send to the state so you don't have to do as much work if you're the treasurer. And if you are a treasurer, that was all explained to you yesterday at the meetings. And we don't know 100% that they're going that way, but it's actually a lot better than the last 10 years when we've been asking for various things. So you should see a lot of changes. Our budget, I'm going to put into Derek's region budgets so that all the officers can just go online at the link, take a look at it. Have a PDF up there so you can't change the formulas because it was messing up. But you can actually look at it and see what's going on daily with our budget. So that's going to be something new this year. And then we're going to increase a couple areas. We're going to increase our conferences from 16,000 to 25,000. So again, that's to support you in whatever you may need. As Dr. Better said, we want 2 celebrations this year. So you're going to see a student celebration, you're going to see an AOY celebration. We'll have a conference again this year, or next year. And so there are inflation costs, and you'll see some changes in the budget that way as well. But we're going to end probably healthy again this year, because I know right now, off the top of my head, I think we have something like, 327,000. After this conference, we'll probably, be down into the 200, which is good, but that's too much money that is sitting, not being utilized by the members in the years that you're paying. So think about things you want to do, think about things professionally that you want to do, and know that we are here to support you. Okay? Questions about the budget has been out, hopefully that you look at it for a week or more. If you have questions, I can answer. If you think of them later, you can email me. I'm here to serve you
let me know what I can do. If you have suggestions, and you know, those intend those parts, send them in, and then I can bring them to the board. George?
I haven't done the math, but looks like we're a little more than the 5% that we committed for scholarships in that $25,000 category. I'm okay with it, but.
Yes, I didn't know they were changing that. So we'll have to look at that and either adjust that, or I can break it out into student scholarships and then adult scholarships.
Is it mandated that we only pay for half of a conference or institute? Is that mandated by state AXA, or is that something?
That's not by state AXA, that's by budget guidelines, that we pay half. And we used to pay half after the conference or the institute, and sometimes you waited 10 months for your money, and we had changed it, but no, that's not, that's just what we do so that we could maybe send twice the amount of people, is why we do half. Because we figure if the conference was, you know, 700, we pay 350, maybe your district pays 350, hopefully not you personally, then that would support the district. Some districts, if you get a scholarship from the region, they automatically will pay your other half. So it just depends what districts you work in.
Okay.
But that was in our budget guidelines.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, they'll get their rebate check this year, and I do need you to deposit them, so you'll be getting them within the next week. Based upon your membership in March, that's where we can keep that line.
All right. Thank you. Can we pass the mic to Dr. Watkins for communication?
All right, everyone. So thank you all who sent items for us to post on the region website. Dr. McNally, if you could click that flyer, that would be great. So here on X, we're on Blue Sky, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and LinkedIn. We will be moving to TikTok because people use TikTok and they want to see us being active, because that's just what's going on. Here's the thing, on the paper that they sent you of our executive board, that email is not correct. It's activereg12@gmail.com. That's where you're going to send the information. Shout out to Dr. McKinney and Champ for always sending your stuff to make sure it gets posted. If you're posting stuff on Instagram or Facebook, please tag me and add me as a collaborator. That works as well. We are wanting to bring as much awareness and attention to what's going on in our region, and I can tell you that the analytics is really showing that people are clicking, including Mother AXA is clicking on our page and resharing our information, and we want to make sure that we are continuing to do so. Please, when also you do send any type of announcements or pictures, that you give us a brief statement of what is going on. Please also invite myself and Dana, myself and Dana to your event, so that way we know what's going on. We will show up. Shout out to this Hampton for showing up to the salsa top golf. We like to frequent, all of us like to frequent your event, so we will get it out to the rest of the exec board, and then if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, my team is now growing, so I have 2 photographers. So if you're doing a huge event, please reach out to me, and they cost money. So if you need them, then I can refer them to you, but you'll reach out to me, and then I'll funnel it that way. And that's all I have.
Ms. Wavering, up here for the region director reports. Right up front.
Also, if you're doing headshots, they're doing headshots from 11 to 12.
And thank you for those photographers. They were amazing this year. I just have like 3 quick things. I have the hyperlink to our website resource page. I hope you've all been there. It's the About Us resources. Your financial documents are linked there. The activity design projects linked there. The mileage forms linked there. Your the scholarship form is linked there. Please think of we already have 2 people who have filled out an Academy Institute scholarship form to get approved for next year. I also have 2 people that already filled out activity design projects, and so we can approve them next year. So if you have not filled out your activity design and want the extra $150, that's due by June 30th, don't forget. And
And then the calendar, right now the calendar's tentative, it's, it changes, that happens. We're getting a new county superintendent, so, hopefully we get to keep our AOI, but then we're gonna add the students. So just always go to the website and look. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Is there anything for the good of anyone? Announcements, etc.? All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I think this was a phenomenal conference. Got many compliments. Thank you definitely for the photographer. Like, I'm excited to see the headshots, the videos that we're going to be able to put out that are really going to promote our region. Thank you, everyone, for being actively engaged. I look for a phenomenal year coming up. And with that said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion! Oh, sorry, can I take yours? Okay.